Game 2 of our second semifinal. Terrence M is waiting in the grand final for one of these players. Is it Reconnect? Is it Exigo? Let's find out.
Reconnect has a pretty decent hand. I love keeping Clockwork Goblin Snip Snap. Because when you play Clockwork Goblin and they don't answer it with something, you just Snip Snap onto it, and that minion is so threatening. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've lost those 2 cards on turn, like, 3, especially with Coin, where you coin one out and then just play the other one.
Yeah.
It's brutal, man.
The Coin does definitely polarize this matchup. We've got Coin Lackey in hand for Exigo, which is still very, very strong, and the Coppertail Imposter, which is part of that mech package that you add into the Rogue to make it more viable against the Warrior.
Yeah, so Coin Miscreant looks pretty good seeing Reconnect's hand, because you'll be able to contest the Clockwork Goblin before it gets magnetized onto. However, it probably makes a bit more sense for Exigo to play it a little bit slower. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to use the coin just yet. And because he has Vendetta, he can go Coin Hench Clan Burglar and then answer whatever he needs to.
That's actually fantastic. So this is a big turn here for Exigo. A little bit greedy there for Reconnect to just put it out there and hope that it's stuck, but I think in the end, what do you pick here?
I like the Rat Trap.
Yeah.
The other 2 were kind of dead cards. You're not really going to have too wide of a board against Warrior in order to justify the Demon Bolt. And then Shadow Flame, you typically don't have to worry about how wide the
wide Warrior
board is.
It might be a Coppertail Imposter turn. Just get that down there, stick it. And, I mean, maybe it sacrifices your Hench Can Bugler. No, you're a Hench Clan.
That card has a new name every other day.
I'm so spoonerific today. I just can't help myself.
I like trading there as well.
Okay, well, why the trade instead of just going
The trade
face?
just denies any kind of magnetic effects, so if they did have Snip Snap, they could Snip Snap value trade, or they could Ziliax bump, and Ziliax is going to be harder to get through with this Coppertail Imposter than it would be if you just kind of like let the Ziliax or Snip Snap be by itself.
Yeah, it sucks to lose to that exactly. And maybe it feels bad to play the Omega Devastator, but I mean you're gonna get more of those later on anyway.
Oh, this is such a clean turn. Vendetta swing, Ziliax swing face.
Ooh.
That is a very powerful turn.
And yeah, unless you discover a sap for Reconnect, you're not going to be able to deal with that one very well. What a monster! And this is exactly picture perfect the reason that you go for this deck tech, you swap it over the specialist format, coming in clutch for Exigo.
Yeah, this is where you see Rogue has a chance now.
Yep.
You see the Coppertail Imposter has been coming in so clutch here. I mean, all it takes is like another War Gear, and Reconnect could just be so far behind, especially because this minion is going to get in 14 damage.
Yeah, it's going to get in for more damage. He wasn't even able to use anything like, you know, I guess he might have been able to execute, but he didn't have that one.
He just
Takes
heals
the bomb
up the
hit.
bomb health anyways.
Yeah, actually, the perfect turn to draw the bomb. So, wow, that's one less bomb in the deck for Reconnect if he hits that turn 7 boom next turn. And it also empowers Exigo to not only have that higher life total, he's going to be able to set up the Rat Trap if he wants to. Man, yeah, Exigo's just in a fantastic position.
He is. However, on the other side, Reconnect does have access to Ziliax, so he'll be able to heal up quite a bit. However, I do like the idea of this minion going face. There's no reason to kind of play around with the Snip Snaps on board.
Yeah. See what Witchy Lackey gives us. The transformation into
Bellringer Sentry.
Actually, he played the Hunter's Secret. Okay, never mind.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Sentry wouldn't have interacted with that. I'm just so
Unless
used to...
he was teching in Rogue Secrets.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just FYI, there's no Rogue Secrets.
No.
He doesn't. No.
No. No. Sorry, guys, if you were getting your hopes up there.
I know.
Dr. J built it up.
Someone was waiting for just the cheat death to come out, where you get the
fake
minion
ice
back. Yeah, or that one too. Which one? I think that's like something cloak.
Yeah. Nobody plays it, so don't worry, guys.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You're not missing out on anything. Even still, Exigo is in a fantastic spot.
Some of the people in the stream probably just learned that there are Rogue Secrets now. They
Actually,
have to, like, go back to their collection.
Right. The Rat Trap procs off of the Warpath, right? Like when you do multiple Warpaths, and that really defeats the purpose of the Warpath because all of a sudden there's another big thing on the board you didn't clear with your Warpath. So we're starting to get towards those turns that I think things just keep looking like they're getting better and better for Exigo.
The one thing Reconnect had to be careful about there last turn that I think he was a little bit careless on was he played the Zilliax and then just swung in with the Zilliax minion first, rather than no, actually he swung in with one of the Snip Snaps first. Never mind.
Yes.
You have to be very conscious of whether it's Freezing Trap, because it's just a Hunter secret. I mean, we can see that it is Rat Trap, which will come in handy later on when multiple warpaths come out. But in Reconnect's position, you have to be conscious of all of them.
Let's see how the best way to clear this. Obviously, you don't want to give your opponent any more life, so the SI7 is a perfect way to clear through that. You want to respect the board, but not too much, so Face is the place for that last 3 damage.
Rogue needs to hit Face as much as possible in this matchup. You need to really kind of set the pace of saying, all right, I am going to kill you. Like, I'm not going to play around. I'm going to keep pushing damage. You can trade your minions into mine. I'm not going to afford to trade, especially after seeing a Zilliax. Like, you're not as worried about the magnetic mechanic onto one of these 1/1s.
I can expect that. So right now, just testing for secrets, trying to figure out what that is. So he knows it's not Flame Trap or anything crazy like that. And so that does signify that it's okay to attack this turn. You're not going to get frozen.
The attack Face, I think, signals for misdirect as well, so he's checking for that.
That's true, yeah.
So I believe the last one he has on his list is going to be Rat Trap. So I'm pretty sure he knows it's Rat Trap at this point.
Yeah, because he tested for Snipe and all the other ones too. So.
All right, here's where we see what kind of gamer Exigo is.
Are you a god gamer? Okay, this is where we find out.
I mean, maybe Exigo doesn't even go for it. He just goes for Miscreant this turn because he still has another Shark.
Yeah?
He can go for Miscreant this turn, play one of the lackeys, and then Edwin Van Cleef.
Oh, it's going to be so good. And I mean, we can look on the other side and see that basically only Brawl is going to answer a Giant Edwin.
And sometimes Brawl doesn't answer it.
Oh. Will it, I mean, they would be so choice to sit here like almost at the grand finals, moments away, and see Brawl not kill the Edwin here. 14.
Oh, and Shark go Face. I would love to see this.
Do it.
There we go, especially with how much damage he currently has in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's lethal on board. But of course, the Brawl is going to have something to say about that.
All right.
Here we go. How good a gamer are you?
Edwin always lives these.
Reconnect might want. Oh my God. Oh, the last card. Oh. If they had swapped that, the Microbot dies, but Edwin lives. Reconnect needs to reconnect because he would have unplugged immediately.
So the LF stands for looking for reconnect.
What a beautiful moment there in Hearthstone history.
I'm actually surprised the Edwin didn't live that. I feel like that's just like a standard rule.
I saw the first,
biggest minion lives Brawl.
Of course.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. How is the Microbot taking on a 14-14 Edwin?
It's my Brawl versus my opponent's Brawl, you know?
Yeah, the Brawl you're told not to worry about.
Yeah. Nice meme. I mean, I feel bad looking at this hand for Exigo because you can set up such a gigantic Edwin again. He's going to go Shark just to get value off of these lackeys here, and maybe that gets him back, even though Reconnect did have a big swing there.
There was actually quite a bit of damage. I mean, the Eviscerate. Oh my gosh, Bluegill Warrior as well. How much does that change? Does that actually set up lethal with Bluegill? You have 8 damage from the lackey and step. You have Sinister Strike, which is 3, and you have Eviscerate, which is 4, 7, 8. That's actually exact lethal. I'm pretty sure.
Way. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm actually pretty sure that's exact lethal.
Get out of my... But he's roping. He's got to go for it. Does he have enough time to play all these cards? Oh my God. Hold me. My heart. I can't handle it. He doesn't have enough time to play all the cards. He can't get lethal. He had to think about it too long. Oh my God. Does he get the card down in time? He does. He got it. Holy moly. Going up against the rope, and he sees it at the last second. It doesn't get much closer than that. I'm hyperventilating over here.
I can see you.
I'm like,
oh my God.
See this one more time. Exigo, he's the man of the coins.
Yeah.
He is certainly the banker.
Just
so far
very,
today.
very impressive.
Yep. That is it's gameplay right there.
Hench Clan Burglar and Vendetta showing up in his mulligan, keeps those as a pair. I like that a lot. And then Evil K-Barat just helping to round out his curve nicely. Terrence on the other side of things. Shadow Step Miscreant, I like keeping both those together.
And actually, the fact that he does have both of those means that this is probably the most impressive of a start that we've seen here. No Zilliax this time around for Terrence, but does certainly have a few more options. Another Blink Box in hand as well, so he can start on the same turn 3. Not actually thinking about the swing.
Yeah, Terrence is really favored that just swinging face with dagger on 2. Not something that I'm a huge fan of. I don't really value the damage as much as just the utility of having the dagger available later on.
Yeah. You're more of a, if I'm going to dagger up the turn afterwards, then you swing.
Exactly.
Terrence, though, is going to play the mind game and swing space anyway, despite
Certainly.
having a pretty comfortable turn 3 play there in the Blink Fox.
Yeah, it certainly makes extra think twice of what Terrence has in store for the following turns.
Yeah, just a dagger, no cable wrap coming out here. No Novice Engineer wanting to save that for Spirit of the Shark turns. The extra value. Blink Fox will come in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of backstabs.
Without these backstabs in hand, Terrence can consider shadow stepping the Blink Fox here to have a guaranteed miscreant activated the following turn, but I think that's probably too defensive play in my mind.
Well, Hench Clan going to be coming down here. Mind Control, Cloning Device, and Mass Hysteria. They're pretending to be a priest for the moment.
Yeah, really, really interesting options here. I do like the Hysteria just because it gives Rogue access to something they normally do not have. So, like, if you're Terrence, you're not really playing around AoE, so
Yeah.
the Hysteria giving extra that option.
Well, backstab and dagger should clear this, but wanting to preserve the life total. SI Agent going to come down.
Yeah, I don't think Terrence is in too much of a rush to get this miscreen out, so yeah, I mean, taking 4 is a big deal in this matchup, especially with such limited healing available outside of like a really big Shark, Life Drinker, or a big Ziliax. So yeah, I like preserving the life total.
Now, considering whether or not he wants to swing face, and this is Terrence, so of course he does.
Yep, and I mean, just looking at his hand, it's probably going to be some form of backstab miscreen redagger, so yeah, I like this a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really interesting options here. I think a Mega Celi is the pretty clear-cut choice here. You don't really want to be giving your opponent mana crystals as well, so Biology Project not the choice. And yeah, Mega Celi is just a really powerful card.
Yep.
Being 1 mana as well makes it a lot more flexible.
And also with the amount of battle cries that are in this deck as well, 1/1 copies of cards from your deck is not necessarily what you want to be getting either. So the cloning gallery is going to be not the option this time around. Fury Lackey coming in here after that miscreant play like you were talking about, but instead of redaggering, it is going to be throwing lackeys all around and providing a larger board here for Terrence.
Yeah, and the Warlock Spirit he picked up, each time a minion, one of your friendly minions dies, it'll give +1/+1 to a minion in your hand, and Terrence picking up that first buff on the Leroy, so perhaps this Leroy might find itself with a few more buffs, and all of a sudden he has a bit of reach that Exco will not be expecting.
And also, with Wagglepick still waiting and that Shadow Step sitting in hand, there could be a gigantic turn for this buffed up Leroy, so I see exactly where you're going. Just a lot of face damage waiting in the hand of Terrence here, and we know that that's exactly what he loves to do.
Yep.
Mass Hysteria going to be thrown down as quickly as possible here, as it's not going to get too much value. And in fact, that's going to be a very, very big Life Drinker and Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, super. This Spirit is putting in a lot of work for Terrence. Just also really interesting last turn, Terrence trading off the right amount of minions just to respect Exco Siege on. He was 1 mana off being able to play that turn.
Well, 5/5 Life Drinker was not what Exigo wanted to see here.
Yeah, really nice health total for that Life Drinker to be at, being out of Eviscerate dagger range and obviously Vendetta dagger range from Exigo.
Well, Cable Wrap. Rush Boy, probably not what we really want to be seeing here, but we'll give the option, I guess. Does have the dagger, so doesn't really need to worry here.
Yeah, he could have...
and can now rush the SI7.
Yeah, he could have maybe used his face to clear the Life Drinker instead and keep the SI alive, but both players seeming to really value their life totals this final game.
Well, Spirit of the Shark is not the waggle pick that Terrence wanted to see.
Yeah, the Spirit of Shark is a dead draw here. Almost, yeah, a real blank for Terrence.
However, I mean, if it was anything else other than a waggle pick, what are we really going to be throwing down here? So it might be able to just prepare the Spirit of the Shark this time around, but does give the Rogue an extra turn to prepare even more threats.
Really interesting from Terrence there. It looked like he was thinking about daggering face, especially after last game. I really think I would value clearing the Lackey here, just because Togwag will come down the following turn. So I would be really surprised if he doesn't clear the Lackey here. But no, he is.
This guy loves daggering face, man.
He's on a mission. I mean, it's consistent. I love it.
How are you supposed to kill your opponent if you kill the things around him instead of stabbing him in the face?
This is what I've been doing wrong the whole time.
That's why you're a warrior player, all right? And let the rogue players play, okay?
All right, my mistake, my mistake. I usually just let my opponent kill themselves and get the warrior.
Exactly. Exactly. You wait for them to concede because the game's gone for too long.
I'm a real masochist.
Well, Novice Engineer is going to get that value that we were talking about prior, and that's the waggle pick that Terrence has been looking for, but unfortunately not in his hand in Exegos. Mega Assembly going to come in before 10.
Yeah, that safeguard is also very, very nice pickup.
Defensive options that he was looking for.
And you would have to be smelling something if you're Exego. That dagger face was just the most questionable thing I think I've seen in a while. So if you're Exego, you are thinking about, oh my, okay, Terrence has a lot of reach in hand.
Well, 20 on the board. How much is he representing at this point? I mean, I think that might be an 8-4.
It's an 8-4 Leroy, yeah. So he has 19 right now with it. I mean, he can't fit the Eviscerate in just this yet, but on turn 10, 19, including the dagger swing.
Well, that means that he's just trying to get him down low enough. Pogo Hopper in the hand here. Shadow Step available as well. We might just transfer into Pogo Rogue.
And I guess something interesting to touch on this game is Terrence was offered a preparation. Oh, no, sorry, that was last game. My mistake.
Yeah, no. So
yeah,
that was for the cheap shots.
Yeah,
that, the turn that didn't quite work. Remember, this is the deciding game in the grand final of WCG 2019 Hearthstone. It all comes down to this.
Kind of surprised Terrence didn't want to develop the Shark there as well. I mean, because Sea Giant is obviously available to Exego if he wants it at this point, so...
At this rate, we can see preparing for lethal for next turn.
Yeah, just giving Terrence more options available with his mana the following turn. So, he was going to be floating mana this turn, so he figured I might as well use the Eviscerate this turn and spend my mana, just so they have more options available the following turn.
The extra 6 health is really going to make Terrence think twice here. You can see head in hands on your screen. Sea Giant comes down as well. This is what happens. Terrence gets to a certain turn, decides I'm going to try and find lethal over the next couple. And you can see Exego does have the responses here.
Cable had a nice pickup, but all of a sudden Terrence thinking about maybe a possible lethal from Exego the other way.
Yeah.
11 on board and he's only at 22, so Leroy Step does it.
Are we thinking about sapping Mr. Sea Giant here?
I think you have to sap the Sea Giant, absolutely. Starting with the Faceless Lackey, I think, would be preferable, but...
To get that one out of the way by the looks of things. Back into the hand.
Yeah, just a small thing, but obviously Sorcerer's Apprentice is available to Terrence off this Faceless Lackey, so it would have reduced the cost of the sap, and then he could have been in the Wishy Lackey as well.
Yeah. Well, there's the Shadow Step. Leroy's been in hand for a long time here for Exego. Not quite with the amount of reach that we were talking about, but see whether that waggle pick gets developed.
Yeah, it's a real fine line at the moment with these players, just trying to not fall behind a ball, but also be able to push damage face and try and threaten lethal. And that's what Exego is tossing and turning with right now. He wants to develop this waggles pick and also develop board and try and threaten lethal, but at the same time he doesn't want to give Terrence too much tempo and have the exact same thing done to him the other way.
Well, Life Drinker comes down once again. There's another 6 health. This particular Life Drinker has got himself a 24 health swing.
Yeah, just a really good example of utility, Shadow Step, and Shark given this matchup.
Yeah. Well, Sea Giant could once again head down onto the board. SI Agent could even join it.
Yeah, just probably tossing up whether or not he wants to develop 2 minions or use the dagger to clear.
This guy's toast.
I was thinking about having 2 cards as well as Blink Box with the Spirit of the Shark. Could be that availability, but understands that he barely needs any more cards in his hand because he's representing lethal right now, as we can see. It's not a heck of a lot Terrence can do.
It's not looking amazing for Terrence here. Okay, yeah, starting with the Shadow Step. So foregoing the Leroy lethal game plan here, and yeah, the Life Drink is obviously putting it into that game plan. So Terrence back to trying to fight for board. There to like exactly probably what he was looking for here. Walk the plank, assassinate, any way to deal with the Sea Giant, and assassinate off it to Terrence.
Yeah, that's going to be the pickup. Next choice.
raiding party, so Terrence can tutor a Henge Clan and Waggle's pick. So raiding party, a pretty interesting pick here, I think.
Interesting
And it
option.
fits with the okay, Terrence going for the deadly. It would fit in with the assassinate quite nicely, but perhaps Terrence feels he's under too much pressure right now, and instead the deadly lets him clear off one of these 3 drops.
Does have to do it with his face though, and we can see this Leroy lurking in the hand of Exego. Has 10 damage just straight out of hand.
Okay, so 4 drop coming up here for Terrence. Not a terrible one, and a 6 drop, which is what the Shark is going to do. Waggle.
Looks like this is going to be it though, because there is 6 damage on board, and Leroy Jenkins plus a Waggle pick will make that lethal in from Exego, and he will be our WCG 2019 champion. Terrence, he tried to do it. He almost got there, but it feels like these reverse sweeps are exactly where our Hungarian player lives.
Look at the emotion coming out of Exego. You'd love to see that.
And another perfect lethal to finish off a series from this guy. It's not quite as impressive as taking him down from 32 health, but pulls out the Hungarian flag. He's gonna walk out onto this WCG main stage. Congratulations to Exego. Really nicely done. Remember, this guy was 3rd coming out of our round robin. Was able to fight back against both of our Chinese players. Of course, Reconnect was who was his opponent. We're going to get straight into game number 2. Not wanting to waste any time here. You can imagine the Reconnect's pretty happy just to jump straight in. And not entirely sure whether we've switched over, but we'll get an idea based on how this game goes as to whether or not the Rogue has loaded up the tertiary deck that we were expecting.
Yes.
Cards you're looking for, of course, are going to be like the Mojo Master if he picks one of those up, and a few different options here as far as getting this game rolling a little bit faster.
Yeah, there's
The
one of the
Coppertail Imposter,
key
there we
cards
go.
there for him. Coppertail Imposter can hit pretty hard if you manage to slap a War Gear or a Ziliax onto that thing on turn 5.
Also, if you're going first, as we are right now, you're able to chuck it down turn 4, and then the turn 5 answer coming out from, or the coin answer of the Dynamatic is not going to be working.
Yep, exactly. The mech tag doing a lot for the Rogue there.
Yep, working out pretty well. But we had a 1-drop once again, and the coin is going to be used, could potentially go into the Elec again, but I don't know whether it is without the follow-up.
Yeah, no follow-up makes it a little bit less attractive, and yeah.
Blink Fox,
Yeah,
a couple
Blink
of
Fox.
them in hand, actually feeling pretty good.
The best 3 drops available to him right now, so I like this. He has the option of Shadow Stemming it so that he can activate his Mystery in the following turn, but he already has Coppertail Imposter available to him, so his turn 4 is most likely set.
Yep. Can also just, if it survives, Shadow Step it next turn anyway,
exactly.
and play both, just to fill his hand up completely.
Yep.
This game feeling so much better already for As Before. It's got a bit of an ironic name, because if it goes As Before, then he's just lost 0-2. So let's hope that he's going to be all right. Wrench Caliber comes down.
Yeah, Wrench Caliber really, really effective at dealing with rogue minions. Like SI at 3 health, Blink Fox 3 health, Henge Clan Burgle also at 3 health. So Wrench Caliber 2 for 1ing a lot of the time, and a really important card.
Yep, and going to be able to get some Elec value off the second charge, in theory, also, as the Coppertail Imposter comes down. And let's Reconnect know exactly what's going on as far as which of his decks he is running. But feels like a pretty good turn 4 play here for the Rogue.
Yep, Reconnect, probably just going to be playing this Omega Devastator for tempo here, and it comes down, the 4-5 body.
Oh god, but the
Definitely
War
the best
Gear
thing about
turn
it to
5.
Yep, this is the dream. War Gear, hit him in the face.
Or do you go Ziliax? Hit him in the face. I mean, you're not really going to benefit too much from the lifesteal, so I guess War Gear is just
Yeah,
nicer.
I mean, Divine Shield is nice.
What are you scared of
Warrior
if you
being
do
a-
invest it?
I mean, the Warrior only being on turn 5 and having no armor, so block, armor up Shield Slam's not available, so the Ziliax, you can definitely go for it, because he's not going to be able to follow with the Shield Slam, because it'll only be at 6 health of the ops for the Ziliax, but I really like the extra health that War Gear provides the Coppertail. It looks like he's gesturing to trade. Correct, I think it's really, really nice to try and play aggressively as the Rogue, but maybe
Militia Commander now trades in so well. I think that was a misplay.
yeah, I'm not sure about that play from as before though. his hand is not as aggressive as maybe he would like it to be. Like, there's no Waggles pick, there isn't a Leroy, there's no Tog Waggle, but I really would have liked to see that 9 damage go face, because there is nothing that the Warrior really had available to him.
Yep. And even if he does make that play, it's just a free 9 damage to face.
Exactly.
Right? Like, he had to remove it.
Yeah.
Wasn't too many other ways of doing it.
Actually, kind of interesting immediately from Reconnect, because I feel like he has plays for the next couple turns, but I don't know. I mean, you maybe could have held on to the Mega Summon there. It is a little bit greedy, but I think he's set for the next few turns, so I don't think he needed to play the Mega Summon right now.
Well, he's got the Elec Clockwork Goblin swing, which is probably what he was aiming for there, not wanting to invest
and
anything else.
he has a Warpath already, so his removal is kind of set. A little bit surprised. It's really often, though, you'll see Warriors play Mega Summon for 1 against Rogue, because it's just so important to have something to do and try and keep up on tempo.
That Nullifier is definitely a high roll when it comes to drawing the old Warrior cards.
A lot better than Festiroot we saw the previous game. Absolutely.
Right, dude. We've turned it around. As before, has spoken to the RNG gods, and they have said sorry and changed things around. So we move into turn 6 here for the Warrior. And are we confident in just Elec Clockwork Goblin putting 4 bombs into the deck? Are we feeling like that is the play?
I really, really hope that is. And it looks like he's going to go for that play. Just clear the Blink Fox. It didn't feel really good trying to, Warpath and clear. You just want to try and keep developing. And this board isn't too scary right now, so, if there was a Shark on the board, maybe you would opt Warpath, but, I think this is fine.
Yeah, I assume the only thing that he was worried about is the Evil Miscreant getting extra value by being Shadow Stepped or something like that, not being able to remove it, but not sure. We're going to wait for players to reconnect for a little moment.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of the connectivity issue here.
Yeah. Not entirely sure what's going on, but the play did come out.
Yeah, Reconnect kind of just pausing as well the previous turn, wondering if he wanted to play the Elec
with
and have
double
2 Elecs on
irony
board instead.
Reconnect is reconnecting, and as before, changed his RNG from before. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is something spooky's going on.
Yeah, there is something in the water right now, for sure.
Yeah, the WCG 2019 water is working a little bit strangely here, as we are going to be getting back into this one as soon as possible. I'm entirely sure. I feel like one of our players just reconnected. Haven't actually got any information as to what's going on just yet. Calling for, I believe Reconnect's the one with a little bit of a problem. A tech in his room, in his little booth now, as you just saw on screen. So get this one sorted.
Yeah, the game plays quite delicately right now. It feels like this kind of game state, the game can really go either way. The Warrior hasn't picked up Boom yet, which is obviously that key card. And the Rogue has a plethora of options for the next couple turns to really keep the pressure up. So I'm kind of leaning towards Asflor right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a roughie. There are a lot of bombs.
There are a lot of bombs.
So depending on whether or not we're going to see them actually be drawn as this game goes on, I think will determine whether or not the Rogue has enough pressure on him in order to not be able to make some of these crazy plays that can come out as this game goes on. Brilliant Nullifier was a fantastic draw, and has the Ziliax still in hand. I feel like he knew. That's why he didn't play. He played the War Gear instead of the Ziliax because he knew Brilliant Nullifier was coming in the future.
follow-up. Yeah, exactly. I like the way you think, Alice.
Yeah, well, I like the way As Before thinks, because apparently he understands exactly what RNG cards he's going to get out of a Blink Fox, which is definitely beyond what I've been able to do. Is that one of my problems?
Maybe that is why you're at rank 10. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's my issue. It's my rank 10 problem. It's not actually rank 10.
I'm sorry.
I haven't played this season.
Pretty effective clear here. The Waggles pick dealing with the augmented Elec and the backstab trade lined up perfectly. It looks like he's just... Cause I would like to see the Smolderhorn come down now. He could also evolve. The Miscreants is some 1 health. If that's the case, though, I would have liked to see maybe him start the turn with the Ethereal Lackey and just, it's just nice sequencing. But it's not a huge deal.
Witchy comes in. Pretty decent Witchy target there.
And that is quite nice.
Good lord. The high roll continues.
Yep. Holy Knight is very, very nice. That Divine Shield is quite annoying warrior to deal with.
Gonna grab a Shiv for more cycle. And
Shiv is great.
It's actually a decent option there as well, as Harrison could come down to ruin any Waggle pick experiences, but
yeah, Jones is a great pickup here.
Yeah.
Puts us for a little bit behind on tempo. He'll have to develop the Glass Hunt again.
Yeah, feels really good. Uses all your mana. Not too bad at all. Not as upset about not having his Dr. Boom Mad Genius in hand. Glass Knight for 2 mana feels Not bad. Not a lot of health restore options other than Ziliax.
Yeah, so you can clear this.
Life Drinker as well,
Jones, yeah.
actually. You know, he's not gone too bad as far as getting that Divine Shield back on again.
Yeah. A number of ways to proc it and restore it, which is kind of interesting, honestly.
Yeah, no, I was looking at I'm thinking like Rogue, right? It's like you just don't generally have too many restore options, but in this guy's hand right now, he's got a couple.
Starts the turn with Shiv, good sequencing. And yeah, I like this. Just getting the Jones off the board.
Yep, going to heal that one back up. And if this Ziliax sticks around, he can nullify it.
Yeah, we could see a big Beryllium. And yeah, looking at Reconnect's hand, he doesn't really have any great ways to deal with it. If he has the read on it, maybe you'd like to Shield Slam it.
Oh wow, we're going to use the Shadow Step anyway just to make sure. So
yeah,
no one need to take that chance, and I respect that a lot.
Yeah, that looks like that's almost his turn 10 play. He's saying on turn 10, this is what's happening, and it's pretty decent, honestly.
Yep.
It doesn't line up too great with the Mega Devastator, but maybe the Divine Shield hangs around, and then the Mega Devastator will have some difficulty removing it. Reconnect just making the strongest play available to him right now. 4-4-4-5, go. And I like that, just vanilla stats. It's usually pretty effective against Rogue.
But does mean that, like you say, that answer for that turn 10 play that we can see represented is not going to be there. But how can you read that your opponent got a brilliant nullifier from a Blink Fox?
Exactly.
That's the problem. So therefore, with what Reconnect knows right now, this is certainly the best play that he had available to him. A lot of options now for the Rogue.
Yeah, he picked up one of his sideboard cards, Togwaggle Scheme there. He's just probably going to let that sit in hand for a couple turns before he plays it. Try and let it build up a little bit. It's a little bit harder to play Togwaggle Scheme when you haven't played King Togwaggle already and have that option to cycle into the cards you're shuffling in your deck. So a little bit awkward here, but starts out with a Cave Rat, flows up with the minion summoning Likey. Decent sequencing.
Yeah.
And just throwing out stats on board right now.
I was thinking about the Lancer as well, but he's going to put it out.
Yep.
Right.
3-2 for 3. Not great, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I'd probably prefer Maraptor over that one.
So Reconnect is kind of an awkward situation right now. The Rogue's gone a little bit wide, and he does want to deal with it, but he has 2 decent minions himself, so you don't really want to use Warpath or Brawl, so it's most likely just going to be a Ziliax and maybe use the Shield Slam. You don't really have any armor gain cards in your hand right now, so Shield Slamming this 3-2 is maybe the best it gets. I'd say he's going to go for the Warpath instead. He does damage his minions a little bit this way, but keeping Rogue off board is usually really strong.
And so the Ziliax does come down after a couple of Warpaths, and now I assume he's thinking to clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that the Coppertail does die to whatever he trades into, which doesn't feel great, so he might even just ship it face. They're all okay. He's opting to not. I guess he's paying respect to Sap, which I don't mind. Also, going wide against Rogue is always fine.
Well, he's going to keep all 3 of these alive and get 4 damage into face. Does have the life lead at the moment, but you'd generally assume that that is what's going to happen. Backstab's comfortable, and now the Ziliax Brilliant Nullifier play
Yeah,
can
this
come
is
down.
huge. This is really, really strong.
And that's when you say, damn, it would be really nice to have another Omega Devastator in my hand. And
Yeah,
in fact,
both Omega
in this
Devastators
list,
up now.
yeah, not even sure whether he had to begin with. There's some of his lists that didn't, but no, he's used both of his already.
And Reconnect just has no way to deal with this right now. He has 9 damage in hand. The Shield Slam obviously can't hit the Brilliant plus Ziliax, so that's useless. He might have to take a 50-50 Brawl here. It's hard to say.
Well, you could play the Militia Commander first and make it at least a bit better than a 50-50.
Yeah. If we had seen Brawl come down the previous turn instead, maybe things would be different. The Warpath being able to do a little bit extra damage, but yeah, this is honestly really, really awkward.
He's trying to work out which minion to throw away before he brawls.
He might just pass here. I would like to see him maybe trade the 4-2 in, but
About the worst time for a bomb
Preemptively.
to be drawn, as he does have a lot of lifesteal here on this board.
both players with super awkward hands for this game state right now. But if I'm Asper right now, I think I'm shipping this face.
And he's going to Togwaggle it as well. Gets 3 more of them in.
Yeah, I think it's more of just to try and really juice this Edwin up and make it as big as he can. But Reconnect would be grinning with joy seeing this play because he's sitting on this Brawl and it's looking more and more juicy.
Yeah,
as
feeling
Asbor
better and
continues
better.
his turn. Asbor really thinking if he wants to trade or go
Or
face
even
heal.
Shadow Step the Edwin to beef it up even more.
Yeah, that's also an option available to him.
Gives him a 10-10 instead of a 6-6. Which I guess ain't so bad. But we'll see.
Really using...
This has got to go face, right?
Oh, absolutely. Looks like he learned from his previous mistake.
Not going to go for it. Okay, so keep Shadow Step in hand. Potentially for a Leroy play, I guess, in the future. Wrench Caliber is not what this gentleman wanted to see. That being said, the Brawl is looking better.
Yep, he has a guaranteed clear right now if he just wants to use the Wrench Caliber, but I mean, you have to take 7. It's not great, so he's just gonna leave it to RNG. Brawl comes down.
Yep. And that is going to leave Edwin on board.
Okay. I mean, maybe the second worst outcome for him, but I mean, you can't really complain when the worst outcome was significantly worse than this.
Yeah, exactly. And Wrench Caliber, that one's going to go face.
Yep.
And now we're basically top decking on both sides.
Yeah, both players out of steam, not really hitting their kick cards. The Rogue didn't hit the Togwaggle, and the Warrior hasn't hit the Boom. So, yeah, like I said earlier, really awkward game. So, this miscreant, although I mean, I think you always Shadow Step here and just miscreant replay the Edwin again. It'll probably be a little bit bigger than the 6-6 right now, and yeah, it lets you get this miscreant out of the hand. And going wide right now is great. You've just seen a Brawl. It's the only Brawl in LF Reconnect's deck, so Manipulator Lackey is great. Anything but the Rush Lackey is honestly great right now.
How many? Oh, double Ethereal.
Yeah,
Not
Ethereal
bad
Lackey
at
is
all.
really nice to see here.
Many low-cost spells as possible, please, is what he's saying.
Yep, and those Sprint and Myra's both...
Myra's not bad.
Yeah, there's quite a few bombs in his deck right now, so...
Oh, that's good.
But I think you'd never respect that, and yeah, Myra should just close out the game next turn. He had an interesting choice also previously between Shiv and Eviscerate, and he went for the Eviscerate, which, you know, signals that he thinks he can close this game out soon.
Yep. And if you're going to get the Myras in the next one, then...
yeah, then Eviscerate's a great...
Remember, as
thing.
before knows the RNG. He knows
Absolutely.
the order of things. He understands now.
He's on a completely different wavelength to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But 9 health for the Warrior. This is exactly the opposite game state as it was in game number 1 of this series. As before, looking to pull it back. Best of 3, remember, guys. So next one will be the decider if As Before does manage to pull out in front.
It's looking very likely at this stage. Reconnect doesn't have a lot available to him. This Edwin, too big for anything in his deck to deal with outside of a Brawl, which we've already seen used. So Aspor should be feeling very comfortable right now. There's no silence in Reconnect's deck. And he obviously doesn't have any ways to get to 12 armor right now. So
yeah, putting another bomb into the deck. I'm not sure whether there's enough to deal 24 damage.
yeah, I think
If he
that's
hits
bomb
all
number
of them
6
in a
right
row.
now. So yeah, 6 bombs in a row, 5 bombs in a row.
And he's actually just going to concede.
Yep.
As there was a
Doesn't
lot of
wanna
damage
wait.
represented on board.
Doesn't want to wait.
Nope. And I wouldn't either. As now we're going to move into game number 3, the deciding match between As Before and Reconnect. Seeing which of our Chinese players is going to come out with the victory in our first match here of the finals, WCG 2019 in our beautiful Xi'an. How have you been enjoying China so far? We've been here for a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, the hotel we're staying in is great. The city is beautiful. Yourself and I went for a walk yesterday, and yeah,
I
it
was
is
super
very
surprised that it was like so nice, actually. Because as we were driving here, there was like, you know, a few like empty buildings and like weird stuff, and we're like driving through. I'm like, oh, okay, where are we going?
What's
And then-
going on here?
And then we pull up at the hotel. Hotel's beautiful, and then all around there's like parks everywhere. It's really lovely.
Yeah, the architecture is